Hey everyone, this is Jordan with the Startup to Scale podcast, and super excited for today's conversation. My guest is Ale, who is the head of marketing with Bon Bon Bon. Welcome.
Hi, happy to be here. Thanks.
So, for those listening, can you give a quick rundown of what Bon 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 is? I love the name.
Yeah. So Bon 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 makes bonbons. In a nutshell, is pretty much how I like telling people what we do here. But that's pretty much all there is to it. There's no fancy lace, no ruffly paper wax cups and like wax mold bunnies. But we hand make bonbons in our little teeny little chocolate factory in Hamtramck right outside Detroit. We like to say we're always doing the best with what we got. So we are a small but mighty crew, and we're just really just trying to make good chocolate for the good people of Motor City, but also everybody in the world, right? We also are really, really passionate about making sure that we are trying to do our best, not only for our consumers, but for everybody in the chocolate value chain. So everyone from the farmers, the cacao farmers, to the co-ops, to the delivery drivers, to our employees, and then of course, yes, our customers. But yeah, so that's I like to say chocolate shell. That's what we do.
I love that. That's so cool. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't as familiar with what bonbons were. Can you describe those for those who like aren't able to see the beautiful pictures in the background?
Absolutely. So there's a very technical definition of what a bonbon is, but we are bonbon, right? So very different distinction. So we quite purposely have chosen to be bon because directly translated, it means good goodies. And to us, that is very open-ended and we like it that way. So oftentimes what you'll see on like a regular menu of products is like a bonbon, but what that means to us, right? So it's typically a chocolate shell and it'll have some fillings inside. It'll have some nice, lovely decor on top. And then, yeah, so whether it's like a cake ganache or maybe a caramel or maybe a gianduja, which is like a nut butter, really whatever it is, it's packed into a chocolate shell. So that's why we like to keep it a little more broad, because whether it's that or maybe it's just straight chocolate, right? Like maybe it's a solid piece of chocolate. That to us is still a bonbon. So
I
that's
love
what
that.
that is to us. Yeah.
Well, cool. So today I want to talk with you about a couple things, including sustainability, e-commerce, kind of fulfillment challenges, a lot here. So I'd love to start with, how does the company incorporate sustainability and ethics into your business model?
Yeah, I would say carefully and wholly, right? Like we make sure that those things are at the forefront of our minds as a business and also just as a member of our community. To be totally honest, it's not something to be taken lightly, for us at least. So it's not only something that like optically we like to present, but it's really important to who we are. So whether it's our shipments, every single item in our shipment is 100% curbside recyclable, and that was really, really intentionally done. So I mean, you'll see our boxes. I have some boxes behind me. This is like what our box of chocolates look like. And that's not industry standard, right? And that's intentional, because industry standard is like a plastic heart-shaped box. And that is like, that's not what we wanted to do for the world.
So your boxes, just for those who can't see, are like a corrugate
Yeah.
box with kind of a paper kind of label wrapped around them, it
Yeah.
looks like, right?
Yes, so it's a custom corrugated box that is completely made out of recycled product already. So the cardboard in general is already being recycled from a local vendor. And then on top of that, we use a water activated tape. So I mean, it's better for the environment and it's also just a lot more sturdier as well. So we use that. So we're not constantly using like a lot of adhesive stuff. And then we have like, you'll see every package gets like wrapped with we call them bond bands, but it's a rubber band, and inscripted on the rubber band, it'll say it's bond to reuse. So trying to encourage you to reuse that rubber band, since that's the only element of the box that's not curbside recyclable. But still, we try to make an active effort to have the consumer do something else with it, right? And then same with our shipments, it's all recyclable products. Even our ice packs, we've inscribed on it like, please drain and reuse these in some way. So that is all very, very important to who we are. But a little more on the box, because I think that's it's a pinnacle point of like how we're able to do sustainability well, I think. So our boxes, we cut every single box of chocolate down to size, custom. So whether or not if you were to get a 2-piece box, we will cut down your box of chocolate to be, here we go, yay big. Or maybe the next person behind you is getting a 12-piece box and they need that size, right? This is all from the same sheet of cardboard, thankfully.
Oh, wow.
So we are quite literally like able to use as much packaging materials as we order, because of just, I mean, that's just the nature of the package that we've created, which is really
Wait, then, so your team is getting kind of like the raw cardboard and cutting it down to size based on the order?
Yeah, so it's a slab. It's literally, you'll if you walk into a shop, you'll see a shopkeeper they have a slab of cardboard. They'll line all the chocolates, however many you get, and then they'll cut it down to be exactly however big.
That's incredible. I've never heard of anyone doing that.
Yeah, right. And more people should. Like, more people should. We totally want more people to do it. But yeah, all those things.
So I love that about your packaging. And I love that you're from Detroit. I actually went to school at University of Michigan. And so I'm like familiar. I've been to Detroit a number of times. Talk about like what you're also doing to like take care of your workers along the entire kind of value chain.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something that's super important. And we're actually in the process of switching over chocolate companies, because it's something that we are really valuing. Not as of late, just we've always valued. And we've recently saw this opportunity to switch chocolate companies to a company that is quite literally, it's a female owned company. And they work directly with communities in Ecuador and Colombia to make sure that their farmers are getting adequately compensated. So there's like I can go into like a whole story about why chocolate is messy and kind of gross sometimes, the industry as a whole, which is why I will also tell you the good things about what we're doing to try to correct those things, right? So making sure that the farmers in Ecuador are being adequately compensated for the things that they're doing, which is why we're working with this particular chocolate company, right? To make sure that they are getting fairly treated. And also like we quite literally are visiting the farms to make sure that like we are seeing the literal fruits of our labor, the literal cacao fruits, right? And we're also able to see the whole process through. And then even more so, delivery drivers, like quite literally, I mean, I know sounds silly, but we are super cautious and super always sure to take care of our people, right? Even if it's a brand new Amazon driver who's dropping something off, or if it's a brand new UPS driver, whoever is knocking on our door, to be quite honest, will either get a piece of chocolate from us or will get a treat around the holidays, right? Like a really special treat, thanking them for their extra hard work. And then internally, company wise, we do a ton to make sure that employees feel valued here. Whether it's providing a safe space. Number one, let's just like, that is a pretty basic thing that you should be able to provide. So I feel confident in being able to say like, absolutely, we've provided a very safe, equitable, diverse space where people of any backgrounds can quite frankly come in, work here, and hopefully feel comfortable. I mean, we have people who work at Bamaban who don't even speak English, or if do speak very minimal English. And that is by no means a barrier to entry to work here. So for us at least. And so that's something that's super important. We really try to make sure that wages are fair. You will never see a Bon location that is snackless or sparkling waterless. So that's another thing. And then really it's just making sure that like our employees are feeling valued through and through, however that looks like for them, right? We have systems in place on our back end to make sure that employees are getting recognized for their hard work and accomplishments. So anyone in the company can quite literally give anyone a shout out on one of our systems that we use and we have in place. So it really fosters a nice, collaborative, comfortable, welcoming environment for sure.
And who doesn't like chocolate as a reward? I love how much you're taking care of your employees, which kind of leads me to another question. How much of your business is through like your in-person stores versus e-commerce?
Yeah, a good chunk of our business is in stores. So I would say right now it's a really nice split. And also the key difference between like our shops and our in-person shops and like brick and mortars and online is that brick and mortar, obviously there's a lot more overhead involved in running a physical location, right? But they still account for, I would say maybe probably about 40% of our revenue for sure.
Nice. So I know a lot of our members listening, and I'm always asking companies about like what e-commerce platforms to use and how it works. So which e-commerce platform are you using?
Yeah, so we're on BigCommerce. So we're a BigCommerce business, proud to say it. Um,
Awesome. How did you decide to work with BigCommerce?
yeah, so we originally were a Shopify business, and that was before we even considered ourselves like an e-commerce business, to be honest. And it was really just serving as like a point of sale, which we really wanted to move away from. We really wanted to move away from like just having a website to operate as a point of sale and move into a website that is more for the customer. And that's what we were able to do with BigCommerce. And that's why we switched to BigCommerce. Because in turn, we also got that customer service side from the BigCommerce team in general. So like we can at any time of the day hop on BigCommerce chat, which shout out BigCommerce chat. I am like a diehard BigCommerce chat. I love the chat. It's so helpful. And like you can totally ask a question. If somebody doesn't know, they'll be like, let me find out for you. And it's just so helpful in that moment. Especially as a small business, if you're running your own website, it makes so much sense to have that direct support from the platforms team.
And you actually built the site yourself, right?
Yeah, I did it with the help of a few others, but it was a big undertaking, building a site. But I mean, BigCommerce helps you do that because it's like, you have so many templates to build from, and then you can make it your own. And it's so nice. It's nice to be able to have that flexibility, especially when like to us, what's super important is being able to be super transparent for our customers. And we previously did not have the ability and like the flexibility of our previous websites to be able to do that with other platforms. So we couldn't like on the spot inform our customers like, hey, we're out of chocolate, like, which is a very sounds crazy, but like has been a very real problem for us in the past. And so to be able to say like, hey, super sorry, we completely sold out of our handmade product, to the customer is really, really a critical piece of our business and like how we can be transparent to our customers. So it's really nice being able to do that with BigCommerce platforms.
Nice. And then what integrations or apps are you using to help your business run?
Yeah, we use, I feel maybe in my eyes it feels like a lot, but they're also necessary to us. So we use Pixel Pop for like pop-ups. So, if somebody wants to subscribe to our newsletter, they can do so through Pixel Pop, which is really nice. We also use MailChimp, which I would encourage anybody who uses MailChimp and BigCommerce to integrate the two into their websites, because what I have found to be really valuable is that the data that you get directly from sending out a MailChimp newsletter and having it directly plugged into BigCommerce, you get real-time data of, hey, as a result of this one newsletter that you sent out, here's how much revenue you've gotten, right? Or here's how many orders have been placed, or here's where people clicked on your site, and here's what products they ended up seeing on your website. So that's been a really key critical one to be able to plug into. We also use ShipStation, vital to our business as well. ShipStation and BigCommerce are two babies that we really need to like make sure that we're watching all the time, just to make sure everything's going smooth, because that is our lifeblood of our e-commerce business now. But that
And
is
I use ShipStation as well, and I'm like in there all day long for stuff, and I love it.
I mean, it's if we didn't have ShipStation, I don't know how we would ship out anything. And also like we have a perishable product. So to be able to have something that you can rely on, you trust, and like you can customize in different ways too is like really helpful too. We also use Roundup, which, is a plugin to BigCommerce that helps you ask a customer, hey, would you like to round up your total balance so that we can donate whatever you do round up to a particular organization, nonprofit organization that we are interested in. What else do we use? I want to say that is, oh, and Gift Up.
Nice.
Let me give a gentle shout out to
Yeah.
Gift Up because our company for maybe 7 years was struggling to find a gift card integration into both BigCommerce and Square, because we are a Square point of sale company, that allowed us to issue gift cards to both in customer and also our online customer. Because for the longest time, there was just nobody who was doing that, like who integrated into both. You either had to switch up a payment gateway or do something else to make that work. Gift Up now exists and is accessible like via BigCommerce. And I will encourage anyone who's like looking for that answer to be able to issue gift cards that work both online and in store, to give Gift Up a chance, because it's the best and it has solved some serious problems that we've had for like 7 years. So yeah.
I love when you find those tools that are just like, yes, why hasn't this existed before?
We like nearly cheersed each other like when we like, Gift Up is the solution. It was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, it's amazing. So yeah.
I love that. And then I've also been really impressed by what you're building on your like Instagram and social following as well. Can you talk about how you're going about like your social strategy and just building your brand beyond just your shops?
Yeah, I think Bon Bon Bon's general MO is to just be who we are all the time. And that's also our social media strategy, right? Like there's really nothing fancy to what we're doing. Sure, there might be like a more organized approach to like our Instagram feed, right? Which is like, hey, let's mix in some professional photos, but also like shot on iPhone photos so that we don't scare off our customers into thinking like, we're some like uptight, super bougie ladies who are like, look at our beautiful, refined like product. Like, no, this is just like what we're doing all the time. We're having fun. Like, this is it in real life, not no touch ups. Like this is just how it is all the time, which is really important to us to be able to communicate that to a customer, because I think that's really what resonates with customers, at least our customers, right? Our target audience is the weirdos, the underdogs, the people who want to be part of something, right? And so that's really what we help provide of a space on social media, whether it's, oh no, we dropped sprinkles on the floor and this is what we're dealing with today on today's Monday. That is like the most liked photo that we'll get. No joke. Like whether it's a spilled box of sprinkles or like a total mishap for some, or like one time I posted a picture of, I dropped a bunch of bonds on the floor and people were like, I'll have them, I'll take them. Like it was everybody's favorite photo. And I'm like, this is why this company is so awesome, because it like stands on its own. It has no, yeah, it's flawed, but like flawed in a intentional way. Like
In the real way.
yeah, like, we won't apologize for who we are, but if unless it's warranted, right? Like that's just who we are, and that's kind of the approach that we take. And I'd say another layer to like the social media approach too is spotlighting other people, other businesses, other community members, just other people that aren't us. And I think, because I think that's what's really missing in the chocolate industry, to be totally honest, is not enough people are shouting others out, and not enough people are like, hey, look at these other people who are also doing incredible things. And that's why we exist, right? To make good chocolate. And other people are also, there are other people out there that are also making good chocolate, doing it well, doing right by the entire value chain as well, right? And so it's like, well, if that's our mission, if we exist to put out good chocolate, then why wouldn't we be like in cahoots with other people who are doing the same thing? And so that's something that's also really important to us. So we make a point like every single day, literally, to talk about brands we love, which is something that I think is really special to who we are, for sure.
I absolutely love that. And I can just tell like your like energy and personality, it just like exudes bon bon bon, like everything about it. And I just see so much fun that you guys are having, right? Like business is hard enough and going through like all the everyday just like crap that you have to as a like building a company and building a business, but you have to have fun and enjoy it along the way and build genuine relationships with people and build a community. And sometimes there's like you said, like other quote unquote like competitors, but it's like we're not even really competing because we both have really good stuff and people can buy all of it.
Yeah, we're all working towards the same mission. So it's good. All good things.
Absolutely love that. Well, what are you looking forward to for the rest of this year? Any big new plans or initiatives?
Tons, so many, and that's all the time. Yeah, that's all the time, which is really exciting. But we have new products rolling out. We have our summer collection coming out very soon. In It'll pre-sale will begin July 4th, and then they'll be in stores July 22nd. But that's an all vegan collection, something that is really special to us because we love our vegan peeps, right? And people might not know, but like not all chocolate is vegan, and it's because of the sugar. So we make a point to quite literally use completely different chocolate blends specifically for this vegan chocolate collection, so that we can hopefully serve an audience that like is underserved throughout the rest of the year, and so that they can have a whole collection that's good and that they could feel comfortable eating. It's also just straight up just good chocolate. So like even if you're not vegan and like if that turns you off, like it's so good. So I would say get it anyway. It's so good.
I
Yeah.
know. I will never turn down good chocolate. Ale, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Let me know if anybody has any other questions. I'm happy to field any questions, but thanks so much for having me.
Of course. And so if you want to try out Bon Bon Bons yourself, just go to bonbonbon.com. I'm going to like go in and order the whole selection because everything just looks so delicious. And also, if you're interested in improving your e-commerce platform and site, we'd love for you to check out BigCommerce. They're an awesome partner of ours. And so if you are interested, we're going to put a link in the show notes of how to learn more about their platform and how it can integrate into your business. So you'll find the link down there. Thanks so much, everyone.